I never meant to see it. But life doesn't always care about what was meant to happen. It was a Tuesday night, one of those evenings that fades into the hundreds before it. The TV hummed softly in the living room. Dishes were piled in the sink, and silence hung heavily where laughter used to live. Anna had left her phone on the nightstand, face up, while she showered. Steam drifted beneath the door, and I could hear her humming a song I didn't recognize. Then the screen lit up. The words in that preview line cut straight through me. "So, same hotel tomorrow night, can't wait to see you again." For a moment, I simply froze, waiting for the world to make sense again. Maybe it was a mistake. Maybe the message was meant for someone else, a prank, something that could be explained. But before I could collect myself, another message appeared. "I'll bring the wine this time. Just bring yourself." My chest tightened. My throat felt like sand. I'd never looked through her phone before. Not once. I'd never needed to. Trust had always been the foundation of our marriage. Or at least, I believed it was. My hand shook as I picked up the phone and opened the conversation. There it was. Weeks of messages, plans, excuses, nights she had claimed were work deadlines, sudden errands, evenings spent with friends. Lies carefully disguised as ordinary life. The name wasn't familiar, but the tone made everything clear. She wasn't simply playing with words. She was planning nights, arranging secrecy, and Tamara was meant to be part of it. When she came out of the bathroom, wrapped in her robe, smiling, carrying the faint scent of lavender soap, the same scent I'd fallen asleep beside for years, I felt sick. My stomach twisted as one thought came to me. Tomorrow, she'll smell like him. I didn't confront her that night. I let her sit beside me on the couch, her head resting gently against my shoulder, her phone now held protectively in her hand. I made a weak joke, and her laugh, so soft and familiar, cut through me like a knife. I knew then that the laugh was empty. I didn't sleep. I lay beside her in the darkness, staring at the ceiling as every memory replayed itself with venom. Every late night, every time she turned back into bed, every excuse suddenly carried weight. I thought about the vows we'd once spoken with certainty, for better, for worse, and wondered what those words meant to her now. By morning, I knew I wouldn't yell. I wouldn't break down. I would stop her cold. That Wednesday evening, she came home later than usual. Too much makeup, perfume, stronger than normal. She smiled when she saw me at the stove, but I noticed the flicker in her eyes, the hesitation of someone who already had one foot out the door. "Smells good," she said, placing her purse down. "I thought we could have dinner together tonight." I replied evenly, forcing myself to stay calm. "It's been a while since it's been just us." I saw it, her mind racing, already building an excuse. "Actually," she began quietly, "I might have to step out later. Sarah, from work." "Don't," I interrupted. "Don't lie to me, Anna." Her face went pale. "I know about the hotel," I said, quiet but firm. "I know about him." Her lips parted, but no words came out. The mask she'd worn for weeks cracked wide open. I saw guilt, fear, and shame. "You don't understand," she whispered. "No," I snapped. "I understand completely. You made a choice. You planned it. And you were about to walk out this door, lie directly to my face, and go to him." Tears filled her eyes. "It's not what you think." "Then, tell me what it is," I demanded. "Tell me why my wife couldn't look me in the eyes and say she was finished instead of sneaking around in hotel rooms." The silence that followed was unbearable. Then, barely audible, she said, "I don't know why I did it." I laughed bitterly. "That's convenient." We sat at the table with untouched food between us. She stumbled through explanations. Loneliness, feeling invisible, saying, "It just happened." But betrayal doesn't just happen. It's deliberate. It's chosen again and again. Every excuse felt like another wound. "So what was tonight supposed to be?" I asked, my voice breaking despite everything I did to remain calm. "Your grand escape. A romantic evening while I sat here believing you were with friends." Her hands trembled. "I wasn't going to go." "Don't lie to me again," I said coldly. "You were dressed for him before you even walked through the door." Her tears finally spilled over. "I made a mistake, Daniel. Please, I didn't want to hurt you." "But you did," I said quietly. "The moment you sent that first message, you hurt me. Every night you kissed me goodbye and went off to plan another lie. You hurt me." She reached for my hand, but I pulled away. "Daniel, please, I still love you." I shook my head. "No, you don't get to use that word. Not after this. Love doesn't look like betrayal. Love doesn't schedule hotel rooms." The rest of the evening blurred together in tears, desperate pleas, and explanations. She swore nothing physical had happened yet, as though that could erase the betrayal carved into every message she'd sent. But in my mind, the damage was already permanent. Trust was gone. The foundation of us was rubble. That night I packed a bag. She followed me from room to room, her sobs raw, her voice broken. "Don't leave. We can fix this. I'll end it. I'll do anything." I turned in the doorway, suitcase in hand. "You were willing to risk everything for one night with him," I said quietly. "And now you want me to believe you'd do anything for us? You ended us the moment you chose him." Her sobs echoed behind me as I closed the door. The first night was agony. A cheap hotel, a thin mattress, me staring at the ceiling, wondering how my life had unraveled into this, how the woman I trusted most could become the person who hurt me deepest. But with every passing day, the fog lifted. Her tears, her promises, her pleas. They all came too late, because when it mattered, she didn't choose me. People sometimes ask if I regret leaving, if I should have given her another chance. But here's what I learned. When someone shows you what your love is worth to them, you believe them. Anna showed me, and the night I told her, "Don't lie to me, I know about the hotel," was the night I freed myself because I finally understood. I deserved someone who never needed to be stopped in the first place.